He was just 7 years old, a bright-eyed boy named Legend Jenkins, the kind of kid who, according to his father on GoFundMe, always kept a smile. But one warm evening in Gastonia, North Carolina, his life changed forever.
We begin with breaking news this noon hour. A double plea deal this morning in Gaston County in a case against a couple who admitted to letting their children cross a busy street to a local restaurant to get food. An SUV struck 7-year-old Legend Jenkins while he was crossing West Hudson Boulevard with his 10-year-old brother on his way home.
Legend and his 10-year-old brother had just finished shopping. They were crossing West Hudson Boulevard, not at a crosswalk, just trying to get home. A 76-year-old woman in a Jeep Grand Cherokee didn't see them in time. The impact was devastating. Witnesses described the scene as chaotic, with first responders arriving within minutes. Paramedics performed life-saving efforts on the scene before rushing Legend to Caramount Regional Medical Center. He was later transferred to Levine Children's Hospital in Charlotte. But despite every effort, Legend died around 10 p.m. that same night.
He died hours later at the hospital in Charlotte.
The very next day, Gastonia police made a shocking announcement. Legend's parents, 31-year-old Samuel Jenkins and 30-year-old Jessica Ivy, were charged with multiple counts: felony involuntary manslaughter, felony child neglect, and misdemeanor child abuse. Authorities claimed the children were unsupervised in a dangerous situation, and it wasn't the first time, according to WBTV. Police told WBTV that the driver wasn't speeding or distracted. Investigators concluded the fault did not lie with the woman behind the wheel, but with the lack of supervision over the children. The decision not to charge the driver sparked debate online, with some asking, was this really justice? The community responded in grief. A GoFundMe campaign raised nearly $4,000 for funeral expenses. On that page, Legend's father described him as a mama's boy, creative and loving. He wrote, "He always kept a smile, always made us laugh. He didn't deserve this." Legend's 10-year-old brother not only witnessed the tragedy, he had been walking alongside him. According to the DA's office, the trauma of that moment will stay with him for life. They noted that part of the plea arrangement factored in this surviving child's emotional well-being.
I sincerely hope that with the resolution of this case, Ms. Ivy, Mr. Jenkins, and their family can begin to move on from this horrible, awful tragedy that's happened to them.
On June 23rd, as reported by WBTV, the parents took plea deals. Samuel Jenkins pled guilty to felony child abuse causing serious injury. Jessica Ivy pled to negligent child abuse. District Attorney Travis Page told reporters, "These parents don't deserve prison. They need mercy and a community that will hold them accountable without condemning them to despair."
On Monday, his parents, Samuel Jenkins and Jessica Ivy, faced the judge, accepting responsibility and a plea deal for their role in his death.
Both sentences were suspended. Instead, they will serve supervised probation. Samuel for 36 months, Jessica for 30.
Gastonia, two parents have now entered guilty pleas to child abuse after their child was hit and killed by a car last month. A judge today now sentenced Samuel Jenkins to up to 32 months in prison, but suspended the sentence for 36 months of supervised probation. Jessica Ivy was sentenced up to 21 months in prison, which was also suspended for 30 months of supervised probation.
As covered by WCNC and WBTV, the terms also include parenting classes and oversight by Child Protective Services. No custody rulings have been made public. Some called it fair, others too lenient. Was this a case of reckless parenting or a momentary lapse that led to irreparable loss? The law weighed both and rendered judgment not based on vengeance, but on context, trauma, and grief.
Ron, we understand both parents each got suspended sentences, meaning they will not have to serve any jail time. But again, we know that this is continuing to be something that we've been talking about.
So do we know why they were just given probation?
Yeah, that's exactly right. Well, according to the DA's office, the reason why they were given probation instead of anything harsher and they took the plea deal was because the family already has 6 kids, and the state basically said they wanted to keep the family together for everybody's best interest. Now, first up this morning was Samuel Jenkins, the father of the 7-year-old who was struck by that vehicle. Prosecutors say Jenkins allowed both the boys to get food at the subway nearby. Surveillance cameras captured the 20 minutes both kids were in the lobby before they made the trip back toward home. The DA's office said the children made it to the median before Legend stepped out in the street and was struck by that oncoming car. Jenkins pled guilty to felony child abuse with serious injury. All other charges were dropped according to a deal with the state. Jessica Ivey was also offered and accepted a similar plea deal of guilty of negligent child abuse and was sentenced to 10 to 20 months. But again, that was also suspended. The prosecutor even saying he's hopeful the family can bounce back from this horrible accident.
There's no closure, only lessons. A 7-year-old boy is gone. His brother will remember that moment forever. And 2 parents will live with the pain of a choice that changed everything.
Yes, I spoke to family members on both sides, and they tell me they have just been left broken over all of this, and they are just asking for prayers as they continue to grieve 7-year-old Legend.
Legend's story reminds us that small decisions can carry the heaviest consequences.
A small memorial of balloons and flowers on Hudson Boulevard in Gastonia, marking the spot where 7-year-old Legend Jenkins was hit and killed last month.
I stand here with a heavy heart, and I can't imagine the grief that they're experiencing and will continue to experience. It's the particular area that the children were sent into that makes this case different. This is a very heavily trafficked road.
The boys didn't use the crosswalk. Legend was hit as they tried to make it across.
The children, my understanding, are living with a paternal grandmother who's a wonderful person and is taking very good care of the children. But the kids need their parents as well.
Investigators say the driver who hit Legend is not facing charges. The prosecution not pushing for jail time for either parents, saying they've already been given a life sentence and need to take care of their other children.
Now what this plea deal means that the couple rather, should be released soon, but no one in the courtroom that I talked to knew exactly when that was going to be.
Leave a comment below and share your thoughts. Should the parents have served time, or did the DA make the right call? Subscribe for more real cases like this one.